Welcome to the Windows Computer and Technology channel, and this is to answer a question that I've had in the past. I've answered it in the past, and it's been a while, and sometimes refresh is not a bad idea. So we have a viewer that has two screens, and one of them is a smart TV that has a capable HDMI input for the PC, and of course he's also got a PC screen. And that's on a desktop. And this video is for any type of PC that you have the possibility to add a second screen. For example, the PC that I'm using right now, this PC is capable of having two screens at the same time. And so you could actually plug in this, I have the monitor that I have here, which is 27-inch, but you can also plug in a second screen, a smart TV, or so on. And then, of course, you can extend the display. You can copy the display to have it mirrored, and so on. But the problem is a lot of people are having a hard time detecting the screens, and they will say cannot detect another display, or all sorts of weird things can happen. And the problem is not that Windows is problematic with this. The problem resides in the fact that too many manufacturers create their own software to control. So people, get frustrated with Windows, saying, well, Windows is crap. It doesn't detect my screens correctly. When in reality, Windows doesn't have the capability. It's been removed by the manufacturer of the graphics adapter. So if you have a AMD Radeon, you might want to have the software that goes with it, especially if you have an older PC. There's all sorts of software that actually can be installed. If you have an Intel display, you might need to have the Intel display manager, because they have their own way of dealing with the graphics adapter and what's connected on the ports of your PC. So that's why it's making it so difficult. If every manufacturer would leave Windows alone and let it decide, life would be really easy, because you would be able to, just plug in the display, and then Microsoft Windows would detect it and it would ask you what you want to do with it. So if you're stuck with that problem, chances are, and of course that's making sure that the cables you're using with the displays are good, because bad HDMI cables exist. So make sure that you're compatible. Try it on some other device to make sure that it works. If your cables are okay, but your displays don't show up, well, then you need to know what's the graphics adapter and what do you need. Well, you might need the manager that comes with the graphics adapter. So how do you know that? Right-click on the Start button in Windows 10. Go into the Device Manager. And in the Device Manager, what you will want to do is go into the section called the Display Adapters. Here's going to tell you what you have. So in my case, I got an Intel Iris Graphics. You might have an AMD Radeon something. Well, if you have an Intel, you'll have to download and install the Intel Display Manager that they have. Same with AMD. They have their own software that actually will handle the display GPU. So to find it, you'll have to find your adapter on the website of the manufacturer. So go to Intel and search for drivers for Windows for the GPU or graphics display. And there you'll have all the software that is capable of actually running with the Intel display adapter. Same for Radeon. AMD has all of the software within their websites. You need to go to the Radeon, find the proper graphics adapter you're using. That's why I can't actually send you to a specific page, because you need to know what model of adapter you have. And where I just showed you the device manager, it will tell you what model you have, and you will want to have the manager that goes with it. So the lucky people, the lucky ones, they just plug in and it works. I'm part of the lucky ones. On every PC that I have, I just plug in and it just works automatically. That's managed by Windows. But in the case where it doesn't, that could be that you need the manager. And another problem that can arise, you might be detecting the screens, but that second screen might not be displaying correctly. And this means that you need to go into the advanced display settings. Make sure that you choose the correct screen. Make sure that you choose the correct screen resolution for that screen. Sometimes it can happen the screen resolution is wrong. What happens with a wrong screen resolution? It simply means that that display will not work properly. There are several display resolutions. Not all of them are supported with the screens that you use, especially smart TVs. These are the most finicky of all displays because they have very specific resolutions that they will work on and nothing else. So that is something to check out. And there are these occasional displays that are really, really hard to get working. An example is my old Toshiba. For example, my old Toshiba laptop, 10 years old, had a hard time working with any screen, and that was some weirdness within the laptop's HDMI out. But at the other end, a Sony TV that I still have here, which is one of the Sony TVs that flat screens, one of the first flat screens that came out with, HDMI ports on them and all that. You know what? The display, it's almost impossible to get a PC's image on that Sony TV. It never wants to work. It's always very, very complicated. I think I've, been able to do this once or twice, but I never remember what I did every time I try to go back on that TV. So I never use it with a PC after because it's just too complicated. And Sony seems to be one of those awkward ones because over the years, a lot of people that had problems with second screens were often trying to connect a Sony TV. So maybe today's TVs are better on that. Maybe the new standards are actually making it easier, but it's not always easy to have that second screen sometimes, depending on the screen itself, the adapter itself, and so on. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.